The COVID-19 pandemic has reshaped every industry across the world, and South Africa's personal short insurance market is no exception. The Naked Insure has put together an article that explores some of the fundamental ways that the insurance industry will change in the year to come. And to tell us more about the article and give us an overview of the insurance sphere, we are joined via Zoom by Naked's co-founder Alex Thompson. Alex, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Thanks very much for having me.
Let's start with breaking down what personal short-term insurance is and its importance.
Well, of course, it's insurance for the assets that you have, things like your car, your home, maybe just your cell phone, computer, headphones. I mean, people are insuring all sorts of things now, but it's really there to make sure that when something happens that is unfortunate, that's unexpected, that you can be put back into that position. So, things will be repaired, like if you have a car accident, or replaced if, for example, if your cell phone was stolen.
And just give us an overview of how personal short-term insurance has evolved over these years.
Well, I think what's really interesting, certainly from our perspective, is if you go back about 15 years, that was when there was a big shift in the industry from people dealing with brokers to people really buying insurance directly from the call centers of the insurers themselves, so that you're actually speaking to the insurer and dealing with them directly. And what we're seeing happening at the moment is a shift where people are now starting to deal with insurers online, directly going onto a website or an app and buying insurance in that way.
So how has the industry been affected by the COVID-19 crisis?
Yeah, I mean, COVID-19 has had a profound impact on, I suppose, every sector, both locally and internationally. And it's no different with the insurance industry in SA. So, I mean, on the one hand, car insurers actually benefited from COVID-19 because there were less people were driving, there were less road accidents. But at the same time, what's happened is people have been demanding more. They're wanting to know, sort of, why am I paying this much if I'm not driving my car as much, as you can expect? And they've also, people are now, doing a lot more online, aren't they? So they're doing their work online, they're speaking to their friends online, doing their banking online, and they want to do the same with their insurance. So they're demanding more convenience, more transparency, and of course, they want to save money.
And I suppose this will be the big test for insurance companies to actually show that they are on the side of their clients with business closures, with job losses, etc.
Yes, absolutely. There's a lot more scrutiny, and people are not just happy to accept and sort of trust that they must be being looked after. And I think so. We certainly see that being transparent, being the kind of organization where we do what we say and we say what we do, so that we can really build a relationship of trust with our customers is absolutely fundamental, and something that is going to become more and more of an issue as we go forward.
Now, talk to us about the article, how it was compiled, and the findings you've made about the country's short-term insurance industry. Well,
I suppose it's been a remarkable year in 2020, devastating for many, many people. Yeah. And so everyone's looking forward and saying, what is going to happen over the next year? And everyone's got their views in terms of the pandemic and what it's going to mean for work. But from the insurance perspective, we obviously need to look at that, and people are curious about it. So what we've looked at and found is that there are a number of things that are shifting. So one is, as I said, people doing more things online and expecting their insurers to be online, expecting to be able to do everything online. There's many other areas. Maybe I could quickly whip through some of those. We expecting the relationship, with service providers to change. For example, people are not as comfortable when, let's say, they're taking out a mortgage to just automatically take the insurance that the bank might be offering, or the cell phone insurance when you're taking out a cell phone contract. They want to, maybe look around a bit. And when you were dealing with brokers or call centers, that was always a very laborious exercise. Now you can quickly go onto a website. In seconds, you can see what you should be paying. And that kind of thing, I think, is really going to change the way in which people buy insurance, going forward. So that's another one of the big areas. We also see quite a lot expected to happen in the third-party insurance area, as it's called. I mean, you might know that something like 70% of the cars out there are uninsured. And this is exposing people to so much risk, that if they were to have an accident and they were deemed to be at fault, that it could lead to financial ruin for them when the insurer of the other car sort of goes after them legally and ultimately might take a lot of their money. And so we do expect now that you can buy insurance online, and it's much more affordable to buy things like standalone third-party insurance, that you're going to see more and more of that starting to happen.
Okay. Now, do break down for us, if you can, Alex, how disruptive insurance providers have been using automation to sort of reduce costs and sharpen risk management.
100%, yes. So, a lot of insurers have been around for many years, hundreds of years in some cases. And a lot of the systems they're using were really built for a world when insurance was exclusively dealt face-to-face or via a call center. What a lot of these disruptive players, and obviously Naked, we're one of those, is have built systems and products that are really tailored to be bought online, to be managed online. And this allows customers to be fully in control of their insurance rather than dealing with a sort of legacy process, an old process, that might involve a human between the customer and the system. And so we're seeing a lot of interest in this, and people finally saying, okay, at last, instead of having to deal with call centers and things, I can actually now do it myself. And this really has led to a big shift that we saw in 2020, and it's just accelerating as we go forward into 21.
Now, this article also points out that more than ever, clients are demanding a more transparent, digital and convenient customer experience. Why is that, Alex?
Well, people these days have got social media. They know what's going on. They're not in the sort of situation where they're going to just listen to what a service provider like an insurer tells them and go, oh, okay, well, I'll believe them. They're going to go online. They're going to do their own research. They're going to speak to their friends. They're going to, maybe digitally. And so they're much more informed than they used to be. And they're proactive. And they want to make sure they're getting the best product for their needs, and that they understand why. They're no longer just happy to go, oh, okay, I'll take whatever you tell me. And so things like transparency are really fundamental. Something where you're not pretending you're doing one thing and then doing something else, but that you're actually being straightforward and honest with how the insurance works. We see that as absolutely fundamental to how insurance works going forward, and is core to who we are as Naked.
All right, Alex, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much. Lovely talking to you.
Indeed, that was the co-founder of Naked Insurance, Alex Thompson. And we've been talking about an article they've put together that details ways in which personal short-term insurance will evolve in the year 2021.